I'm going to give you one more chance to make up for this afternoon.
Oh, Chris, I'm really sorry. But today has probably been one of the worst days in my entire life.
Why don't you tell me all the gory details over dinner?
Thanks, but I'm not feeling very well.
What's the matter, General? Did you lose the war?
Just the first battle. I'll win the next one for sure.
Bobby, why don't you do something for yourself? Learn what good generals learn. Next time, plan your strategy before you go to the front. I'll see you around.
Hi, Luke Spencer, please. Luke! Hi, Bobby. What do you mean, Bobby? Who? Your sister? Hey, look, the phone works both ways, you know. I haven't heard from you in a long time either. Oh, nothing. Just working real hard trying to earn a living. Listen, Luke. I know that we haven't talked for a long time, but if there's one thing about us Spencers, it's that we always did stick together in times of trouble, right? Well, yes, there is one little favor that I would like you to do for me. How'd you guess? Listen, Luke, I'm at work right now, so I can't talk too much, but there's some girl I know who's really done me dirt. And if anybody can help me even the score, it's you. So what do you say? Will you help me make her sorry she ever crossed a Spencer? I've never seen a bypass perform more brilliantly.
Well, thank you for your compliment, Monica, but Mrs. Rockwell doesn't pull through. No matter how brilliantly I execute it, it doesn't make any difference, does it?
What?
She's so young. She's got her whole life in front of her. All through surgery today, I kept thinking that she could be Leslie. You know, she even looked a little bit like her.
Yeah, very much so, as a matter of fact.
A look of pure terror in her husband's eyes just before she went into OR. I'll never forget that.
Rick, come on. You did everything you could. All we can do now is just pray that she pulls through.
I really should talk to Mr. Rockwell about it.
Why don't you just unwind a little first?
Oh, maybe you're right. Now, I do have to call Leslie. Maybe about the only chance I get to do that.
Oh, would you ask her from me how Laura's?
Sure. Some special reason what?
Just about what happened this afternoon.
What happened?
Oh, well, you should hear from Leslie. I mean, I would have told you before, but Leslie said she would rather tell you herself.
Well, Monica, wait just a minute. Look, Leslie probably figured that she would see me before this. I've been in surgery all afternoon. Now, if something happened, tell me what it was.
I would rather not, Rick. I don't want to do anything that Leslie specifically asked me not to do.
Monica, I am sure that Leslie will understand if you tell me, because I'm insisting that you do it, and you tell me right now.
All right. Well, I went down to the book room this afternoon to talk to Laura. And what I walked into was quite a scene.
Hello, Jesse.
Oh, hi, Dan. I thought you were long gone.
Jess, do you think I'd leave without stopping by to see you? Besides, we've got a dinner date tonight, remember?
Of course I remember. I thought maybe you'd forgotten.
Oh, not a chance. I just came from a late meeting with Steve on the new union contract for the kitchen help.
Oh, good. I hope it works out all right.
Oh, I'm sure it will. We're pretty close.
Hi, Jesse, Dan.
Hello,
Like
Jeff.
everybody's working late tonight, huh?
Yeah. Any messages?
Yes, one from Heather. She's visiting Diana. She'll be either there or at the apartment.
Well, I'm sure she's gone home by now.
How surgery?
Yeah, 9 hours worth.
I don't know how you doctors do it.
Well, I could say the same thing about you businessmen. So there. Steve.
Oh, Jeff, you're just the man I'm looking for. Good. Did you hear anything more from Jameson?
No, Steve, and I sure wish I knew how to get a hold of him. But he said he'd contact me as soon as I'd had enough time to have Stephen Laur's death certificate checked over.
Well, I talked to Dr. O'Connor today, and he says he has no idea how a forged death certificate got into his hospital records.
Yeah, well, I don't suppose there's much sense in trying to contact Dr. Simmons, is there?
No, not only was his signature forged, but I understand that Dr. Simmons retired before Stephen Lars was supposedly admitted.
Boy, this thing gets stranger by the minute, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
You know, the hardest part about the whole thing is that there's nothing we can do about it until Jameson contacts us. Nothing to go on.
Jeff, I do think we should set up a plan of action. Do you have time to talk about our next move?
Right now?
Yes. I'm meeting Audrey and Ann over at the Floating Rib for dinner. How about joining us?
Fine. Just let me give Heather a call.
Okay, great.
Should we call Bobby and see if she wants to join us for dinner?
I think she has other plans.
Oh, someone new on the horizon already?
I don't know. She was very secretive about it, and I didn't ask her a lot because I think she had a very bad day.
What happened?
I don't know exactly. I only got Bobby's version. Of course, that wasn't terribly accurate.
Sorry to cut out on you like that, sis, right after you got here, but business before pleasure, you know what I mean?
Pretty strange place to do business, isn't it, Luke?
Look, I don't tell you how to run your life, so don't tell me how to run mine, okay?
I wasn't. I just
Enough
entered...
small talk. Why'd you call me?
Luke, you're my brother. I had a problem. It's only now.
Oh, Bobby, come on. This is Luke you're talking to. You've been back in Port Charles for over a year now. This is the first word I've heard from you in all that time.
How'd you know I was back?
Kid, I know everything. Vito Monero told me.
That creep. You still hanging out?
Watch your mouth when you talk about my friends, okay? So, you gonna be a real trained nurse? You living in a posh apartment with some older nurse? That's quite a change in lifestyle.
All right.
Sure. Except now you need a favor from your big brother. Guess I shouldn't be surprised at that. Why else would you call me?
Oh, Luke, I'm sorry. I would have...
Oh, save it, Bobby! You've always been ashamed of your family, so none of us dropped dead from shock when you cut us off. But like you said on the phone, when the heat is on, the Spencers stick together. So come on. Tell me what's with this high school kid who's on parole or something that you want to even the score with. Heather, Gina told me again that any kind of emotional stress could be very dangerous to her, especially at this stage of her pregnancy. And you know I don't want to do anything to endanger the baby or Heather.
Well, I can certainly understand that, Jeff.
But, Steve, I can't go on keeping secrets from her. What do you think I should do?
Well, my suggestion would be holding off telling her anything right now. There's no point in upsetting her until we have something more concrete.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You know, it had to be Mrs. Hadley who engineered the whole thing.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Yeah, but she's dead now. So there's only one hope of finding the truth if Jameson doesn't get back to us.
What's that?
Well, this guy, Heather remembers, Wallace, as being Mrs. Hadley's lawyer. If Jameson doesn't get back to us, or it turns out he doesn't have any information, then Wallace is the guy that we've got to find.
Lobby for us, please. Jeff, I checked the Manhattan directory, and there must be at least 20 lawyers by the name of Wallace.
Great.
And as far as we know, he may have been practicing in one of those other boroughs in New York, so that could mean 40 or 50 lawyers by that name.
Steve, I feel so damn helpless. I mean, I'm starting to sense that my kid might still be alive somewhere, but I have no idea how I'm going to find him.
Jeff, just don't give up hope. Somehow, some way, we'll figure this out together. Here we are. A nurse, if you want either Dr. Weber or myself, we'll be at the Floating Rib for dinner.
What is it, Diana?
What?
Well, you had a funny smile on your face just now.
Oh!
I was just thinking about how wonderful it's going to be when you have your own baby. You're going to be such a good mother.
Oh, I hope I will be.
Oh, sure you will. Look how you are with PJ, and he isn't even your own.
Oh, well, I do love him. I always have.
Yeah. was thinking that if you do have a little boy, he can play with PJ and the two of them can grow up and be friends just like their mothers are.
I pray every night, Diana, that it will be a boy for Jeff's sake.
Well, I'm sure he'll be absolutely thrilled if he gets a daughter.
But don't you see, I want to give him another son to make up for the one we lost.
Have you heard anything more from that strange man who called to tell you that Stephen Lars is still alive?
Oh, I think PJ is tired. You know, I think it's time for you to go to sleep, isn't it?
Yes, it's way past his bedtime. I absolutely forgot. I guess it's because I just love being with him so much. Yes, you go to sleep, darling. Mommy loves you. Sleep well.
Come on, darling.
So tired.
Night-night. Whoops.
Heather?
Yes, Diana?
Oh, Heather, I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be home again with PJ. Even though I still can't take care of him myself yet.
You know something, Diana? I have always thought of you as, well, an up person. But I've never seen you as happy as you are right now.
Oh, I've got a lot to be happy about. I feel so blessed. Heather, I have a wonderful husband that loves me as much as I love him. I've got a fine young son. I have a wonderful, wonderful, happy home. And I'll never, ever take any of these things for granted again as long as I live. Oh, Heather, you know, I was so relieved to find out that all of my behavior was because of something physical. It was so frightening to me to have almost ruined my marriage, behaved like an unfit mother, and I didn't even know why. It was awful.
Well, I am glad it's all over for you now, Diana.
Yeah, so am I, thank you.
Now, come on, you better sit down for a minute.
Oh, right, listen, Heather, you have still not answered my question.
What question?
Well, I asked you about, that man, you know, that called up about Stephen Lars. What was his name? James? Are you okay?
Yeah, I just had a chill, that's all.
I wish you'd tell me.
Well, he did call again, and now he claims that Stephen Lars' death certificate is a forgery.
What? Well, Heather, don't cry.
You know, I can't help it, Diana. I wish that this Cal Jamison had never come into our lives. I mean, he just opened up old wounds, things that I thought were finally behind me.
Heather, I can understand how you feel, honey, but this could be the best news you've ever had.
What do you mean?
Well, look, if that death certificate was a forgery, that means that little Stephen Lars is still alive. I mean, that's a miracle. It's wonderful. Heather, instead of crying about it, you should be praying that it is a forgery.
Well, I do, Diana. I mean, I am, but it isn't just that.
Well, then what is it?
It's just that on top of everything else, Jeff has been keeping things from me.
What kind of things?
Please, Diana, I know you want to help, but I just can't talk about it now. I can't.
By the time the wing is completed, the figures will probably be even higher than I projected.
Well, we better get Tracy to step up our fundraising projects.
Oh, she ought to be able to do that in a second. Your sister thrives on challenges.
You've noticed that, have you? Excuse me, Jessie, have you seen Monica? Is she still in IC?
No, she and Rick took a break in the cafeteria.
Ah, well, maybe I can get you down there. Excuse me both, will you?
Now, I'd say that was a happily married man.
I'd say you're right.
You know, I just hope I look that way when our courtship is ended and you're Mrs. Dan Rooney.
Oh.